Good day, fellow champions of inclusion. I am Aaron, and this is the Inclusive Dad podcast, where we explore inclusion and make it practical. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me in exploring ways we can create a more inclusive world together. You are important, you matter, and you can make a difference. Today, my guest is Tina Hoang. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Aaron, for
Yeah,
welcoming
no
me
problem.
today.
Yeah. Why don't you just start us off by just telling us a little bit about who you are?
So, my name is Tina Hoang, and I have cerebral palsy. So I had it since I was born. So since birth, I it's pretty much since I didn't have it when I was inside my mom's stomach, but more so 8 months after I was born, my mom noticed that whenever I start crawling, my left arm would just normal trying to go, but then my right arm would be in a fist and just stay there while I use my left hand to crawl. And so once she realized that, she went to the doctors and I was finally diagnosed with cerebral palsy. And thankfully it's minor. So it's not severe to the point where I'm in a wheelchair. However, at one point, the doctors at the time did say that there's a possibility I will be in a wheelchair. And then my mom was like, "Oh, hell no. We're not going to let that happen to my daughter." And so she did her very best. Even to this day, she did her very best to make sure that I didn't be in a wheelchair. And so we went to occupational therapy and physical therapy because on top of my cerebral palsy, so I have um, spastic hemiplegic cerebral palsy, meaning only one side of my body is affected. So my left side is completely able-bodied, quote unquote normal, versus my right side from head to toe is affected. So the muscle rigidity of how I move things, it's hard. So for example, I am able to hold a bowl with my left hand, but I'm unable to do that with my right. Unless I use it, put your palm facing up. Like I can't hold a bowl palm facing up, but I can hold it with my two fingers, my thumb and my index, and just eat it, like eating with a spoon or whatever. So and so for the longest time, I kind of was oblivious to my disability. I was I'm just normal as a kid. You're like, I don't care, blah 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 blah. Like I had a leg brace on to make sure my heel goes down too, because I also walk on my toes. My right foot walked on my toes. So the whole time going to occupational therapy and physical therapy, just my mom did her best with everything. And I still haven't walked. I still haven't been in a wheelchair because of that amount of work that she put into me. And so far, it's been a journey. And of course, with cerebral palsy, it doesn't go away. It stays with me until I die. And so, but I mean, there are days where I wish I wish I was completely able to do everything. But then I think with strong butt is that I feel very humble to having this condition, because it wouldn't have brought me these kind of perspectives, and awareness of what life is, and that we can still do things regardless of what society has told us.
Yeah, thank you for that introduction. So my daughter, her name is Cecilia. We call her Cece. She's 23, and she has cerebral palsy. And I don't
Yeah.
remember the actual term that the terms for what she has, but she's the opposite of you. So her right arm is the one that has normal function, and her left one is the one that um doesn't function as well. So it's
Is it just her arm, or is it also her leg too?
so she has it in her legs too. I don't think it's just one side of her body, so I'm not sure what hers is called,
Oh,
but she
so it's both legs and one arm kind of
yeah,
thing.
I think so.
Oh, I think it's like a triplegic. I think that's something like that, I guess.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's been in a wheelchair for I don't quite a while now. So yeah, she uses a wheelchair for sure. But yeah, yeah. Um, what is your definition of inclusion if you had to define it?
My definition of inclusion would be always ask people if they want to come in. I think that's what it is. Like, my definition is like, no one is meant to be excluded. So inclusion is like, if you see someone by themselves, go over and ask. It's like, hey, you want to join us? And if they say no, like, okay, we move on. But then it's always, I think, just the art of asking if they want to be included in our activity, in our conversation, or whatever it is. Because if what does a yes, rejection, but what hurts by just asking someone to include them in. And that regards of like disabilities too. Like, even if you see someone in a wheelchair, like, ask them like, hey, do you want to join us? And then they have the power to choose what they want to do. Even if the circumstances may not allow it, the invitation speaks loudly of the person asking their own character. And so that's my definition of inclusion, is always asking.
Yeah, I love that definition. What about you? Have you always been included?
No. I
No?
think that's why I have a strong need. A strong, not need, but more like, because because I wasn't included growing up, I didn't want people to feel the same. And I'm not too sure for your daughter too, like, if she felt included, even though she's in a wheelchair, like, was there like a lot of times that she wasn't included in her life?
Yeah, for her it was, yeah, she was, I mean, right away she was sent to a school across town, not her neighborhood school, and different things. So there's definitely been a lot of, at least in my opinion, where she's not
Yeah.
been included. And like we'd go to, like this concerts around holidays in grade school, and her friends are on, up on the risers on this side. She's in the complete opposite side, not even with her class. So I mean, there's stuff
Oh
like that for
man.
sure where but
Yeah.
for sure those things come to mind as far as like throughout her day. I mean, she didn't talk about it much, but I'm not sure about that part.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that, because I think even growing up too, I didn't share it with my mom at all about my struggles. Because I mean, on top of it, with the disability, just, life as a kid, and like, wanted to be included, wanted to fit in and not stand out. And so I think that's why I not necessarily intentionally made it my mission, but it was intentionally, because the fact that I was not included. I always ask people if they want to come in, and like, or if I see someone, like, being a wallflower, it doesn't have to be someone who has a disability, but just anyone, who's a wallflower or just by themselves. I'm just like, hi, I'm Tina. And then we just have a conversation. And then, like, once I leave, then I say, hi, okay, I want to go. And then, not because I'm leaving, but just, I'm kind of the person that is, I remember calling myself during high school, like, a hopper. Like, once a bunch of my friends, I just hop around and just like hang out with everyone. And so, I don't know, I just feel, I think the art of just asking someone, like I said, asking someone if they want to join in. If they don't, then, it's not our, yes, we'll feel rejected, but I think it doesn't hurt as much if, like, someone just not asking you or inviting you to something. So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Before we started recording, you had mentioned you had moved from California to Colorado. Do you find like Colorado is more inclusive, less inclusive, or can you really tell?
If I were to include, like, as a generalization of inclusion versus, like, regarding of disability, I think my own experience, I believe California has it more inclusion, because I think, well, because I was born and raised there, so I think maybe how I live my life, people they don't care. Like, they don't care. They're like, "Hey, I see you. Come here." And then, like, and then I think here in Colorado a little bit, it's a bit, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe I don't have much more experience, but just because of my whole life in California, people are just like, they don't care. And they're just like, "Hey, I see you. Come." And so I think at least the major parts like LA and San Francisco, that's where I was mostly in. And I don't know, it takes time, I guess, to just really figure out where I stand.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense too.
Uh, I didn't realize how physicality was so important for me because with cerebral palsy, it affects it. So there's a level of certain movements that you can't do because of how it's affecting. So like for me, growing up, I've always loved dancing. Like I was one of my church group. We did like a dance thing, and we wanted to do a choreography for like a performance for our Lunar New Year, and our church wanted to do a dance, and I joined in to see how I was. And the moment I start doing it, I was like, I felt discouraged, like so discouraged, right? And so like over time, I allowed myself to still be playful and allow myself to dance, but I stepped away or discouraged myself from ever taking dance classes or be in a dance group because there's particular movements that you have to make to really hone in the choreography. And so like after that, I realized over time, like 2019, I went through like a situational breakup when they told me, this kind of ties into it too. It was like being a people pleaser. And over time, being a people pleaser, I became more authentic, more courageous. And then right after that, I became more of my playful self. And I wanted to incorporate dance again in the most playful way and just let my body move and not caring of what people say. And especially as adults, we forget how to play. And it's not like we want to stop playing, but a lot of society tells us that we are adults. We need to stop playing. We need to be serious. We have responsibilities. We have childcare. We have work and all that. And like I grew up being told to stop playing around. And then I still, like me right now at this age, I'm still being told, stop playing around, literally. Because I'm like, by my mom. And it's funny though, because my mom, myself, my sibling, and my dad, like in our immediate family, we're all very playful people in our own version of it. And and then somehow because of society or whatever, like I said before, because we're adults, we can't be playful. And so I've made it my goal to just be frilly nilly, silly, and just move my body. Like think of like the car floaty guy that just goes with the wind and just like move your body like this and just like allow yourself to just move and who cares? And then for me, I think believe it all, it comes down to our beliefs. Because in our beliefs, if we tackle our beliefs, we're allowing ourselves to create internal safety. And then that's where I encourage more people to create that internal safety for themselves. Because once they've created, they can be playful any time of day in their life. Like they don't have to go to an adult playground or be with their kids or pets. They could literally walk outside their house in front of the neighborhood and just be like, yeah, I'm ready to go on this hike and let's go do this. And then you go. Like, because sometimes we don't even do that in front of our house because then you'll see our neighbors looking at us, and so like, and then you go, or even for me, what I love, one of my one of my favorite things to do is putting my windows down and blasting my music and sing and dance in the car while wherever I'm going. And it's loud. Like I sometimes like I don't want to drive people because I have to like change it. And I'm like, I'm just gonna by myself and put music. And also like yesterday it rained for like 20 minutes. And I stuck my hand out while I was driving and just felt the rain in my hand. Like I felt so grounded and calm and just like And I could feel, 'cause I'm very sensitive to energy. I could feel it around the cars. People are looking. I was like, this girl's crazy putting her hand out in the rain and it's pouring. It's not just like, it's not little sprinkles. It's pouring cats and dogs. And so I'm just like, I mean, my other windows are closed, but my driver's one is open all the way. So I'm just like putting my hand out like this the whole time. So yeah.
That's awesome. I've never done that, but I do like going for rides and cranking the tunes and like just sticking your arm out the window and letting it like
Hmm.
go with the wind is, I mean, that's fun. I mean,
Yes.
I don't do it. I should do that more.
Yeah, and I even like I also put my hand out as if I'm on a roller coaster. So like, like this, right? But then also like this out, and I'm like, ah, like of course still my right hand on my right hand on the wheel, but like as if I'm on a roller coaster and just let myself lean back and then let my hand. It is so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you are right though, because I mean, I'm 47. No, no, I'm not. I am not 47. I'm 49. Wow, I should catch up. But I still have a hard time just doing whatever I want to because there's still those voices like you got to act a certain way or, that kind of stuff. So I feel like I'm getting closer. And I mean, some days it's better than others, obviously, depending on my mood.
Yeah.
Like I'll just do stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I admire you. It seems like you're in a pretty good spot where you can do that more often than me. So that's cool.
Yeah. I think it's knowing yourself because I know myself enough that I am very playful as a person. And at the same time, when it comes to it, I will become serious when it needs to be. And I just change back. So, I mean, generally, I'm more of an unserious person than actual serious person. But when the time comes and it's appropriate that I need to be and then think of responsibilities and lock in, then I'll switch over and be that. And I think that's where it is with many adults. It's I think when you are self aware of yourself, you know this is one version of yourself that you love, and then you will switch when you need it to be. And I think it's simple as that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, how does your culture view disability? Or what is their view on disability?
I think the view on my culture, it's hush hush. Or within my family, feeling sorry for them. Because I think like growing up, like in the very beginning I was telling you, like my mom was very empowered to make sure that, I live a normal life, have really a normal life and make sure that I'm not in a wheelchair and everything. She also made sure that to make sure that I make friends because someone with a disability sometimes, that idea, oh, they're not normal. Don't talk to them. So she's like, make friends, keep making friends. And at the same time, too, on top of empowerment, she would also feel sorry for me. Like everything I do, she would also tell me, "Oh, let your sibling do it. Let them do it. Like carry the luggage to the car, or like move the bed, or just like heavy lifting things so that I don't physically do it." And in our culture, it's called "돈입," which I don't know the complete translation, but how I view it is like feeling sorry for. And she says that to me quite often, saying, "Oh, my girl, 돈입." Like, and it's like, and then even at this age, my mom still says it to this day, and I'm like, Mama, stop. Like, I don't want to be called that. I don't want to call it that at all. And I actually did a storytelling event stating that kind of story too, of like, I don't, please don't. Like, I don't want to be told that because I'm much more than being sorry for. There's a level, I mean, but then in her mind, is a form of endearment. In our culture, is a form of endearment. And I'm like, I understand. And at the same time, no. No, I don't. I don't want that because it feels, hearing those words makes me feel like I'm less than, that I'm not capable of anything, and that will always need help. And I've come to be comfortable asking for help, generally, generally asking for help. And at the same time is I don't want to ask for help all the time because I want to be independent for myself. Because sometimes you really do need to take care of yourself over anyone else sometimes because no one can be there when you fall. So you need to figure out how to get back up on your own and then know that you, even though I know I have support, sometimes the clutch that someone will always be there for you, I learned that the hard way. And so I still, like now I'm figuring it out and everything. It's a hard pill to swallow to figure out everything on my own, but also really amazing to be in too. And so I don't know. I'm assuming, does it affect you for your daughter too in that sense, Aaron? Or
I mean, I guess I'm not wondering. I haven't really thought about the cultural implications. I mean, I grew up going to a Baptist church. So there was a lot of stuff in that, and I feel like there's even verses like in the Bible, like what did the parents do to cause this person to have a disability? So I think there's still some thoughts of somebody like my daughter has a disability, so we did something wrong, or she did something wrong, or there's a kind of that stuff. But as far as other things, I'm not sure. I know I went to Haiti 3 times on like mission trips, and I was a little nervous going down there because I had read up a little bit on how they, view people with disabilities in Haiti, and down there they have some of the people practice like voodoo and stuff. So there's a lot of like, bad spirits cause it and different things, and they just don't treat them well. So I was nervous. Didn't really see anybody the first time. Then I met some people. The wife is from the U.S. and her husband is from Haiti, and they started a school for kids with disabilities because down there they don't really get to go to school. So it
mm,
was interesting, and I've had them on the podcast, and like they now live in the U.S. because stuff's kind of not good in Haiti. And I asked them a question, and like, which place is better? And they said, like, in Haiti, they never had to worry. Like, if, something happened to them, the community would take care of their child, no questions asked. Like, they just wouldn't have to worry about it. Whereas here would be different. But, US has better health care, but it's not, if something happens to them here, they're more worried about what's going to happen to their child. So it's just interesting how, each culture, country has, some things they're better at or, quote unquote better at or different than others. So it's interesting.
yeah, I definitely understand like like you said, the cultural aspect of like collectivism, like in Haiti,
Mhm.
you're the idea of like, oh, someone's gonna take care of my kids. If
Yep.
something happens to me. But here in the US it's like, I don't know if someone will take care of my kids if something happens to me. And so, yeah.
Well, it's even like I'm getting close to 50. My parents are older. My mom had some health stuff earlier this year. And it's like you start
Yeah.
thinking about like how in our culture they get older, we can't take care of them. We send them to like a nursing home, but there's different. We have a lot of people in southern Minnesota from like, you know, Hispanic or, different cultures where they, multiple generations live in one house and they kind of share the responsibilities and, take care of each other. And they don't seem to do that like we do as and so it's interesting how even that kind of stuff, it's like how one culture, they'll take care of multiple generations or older people, younger people together and not send them away to a different place. So it's kind of makes you think.
Yeah, because I think even like growing up too, like I think maybe just watching TV or whatnot, I've like you said, nursing homes, right? And so like in my head, I was like, I would never put my mom in a nursing home. Like, hell no. Like, no way. I'm not gonna do it. And like I think because for our culture is like you said, we are supposed to take care of our parents and until they grow old. Like take them in yeah, take them in after they get older and then be worth for them and take care of all the things that needs to be done beforehand. Thankfully, my mom has the ability of both. The American, like even though she moved here from her country, she has the culture of both. She's taking care of everything that she needs to make sure that when she passes to, that we'll be taken care of and that nothing is astray from me and my siblings. And then also at the same time, like ensuring me all these things are happening. Like even though she's doing it, she's letting me know that take care of these things if anything happens to me. This is where everything is, and please do it. Okay. And I'm like, okay, mama, I got it. And so, and also being the oldest too, she made sure like, I made sure that I did made sure that I understood what was going on. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's just, yeah, it's interesting how it's. Plus, when I started thinking about the nursing home, I mean, I know some about how like how it's funded, and the society seems to have set up certain, they insurances works. Insurance will pay for the stuff in the nursing home, but it won't give you the money or as much money or any money to help take care of your parents at home. So it's kind of
So like,
setting it up a certain way.
wait, so they're funding nursing home much more or better than at home for your parents, or who are even not even parents, but just like even with people with disabilities, sometimes you
Yes,
can't even
for
do
sure.
anything. And I think, yeah, actually, I think I have a friend who their parents they have I don't want to get into it, but like they have some level of illness, and for them to even be considered their caregiver, the income for that is so low. Is so low to just even taking care of them. Versus like it's just saying for nursing, it's like the nursing home. It's like, really? And even like if maybe it's just me hearing bad stories, how like they're they're being treated, the elderly are being treated poorly in these nursing homes too. If you go to the low income ones, you yeah, the low income ones versus the higher pay, which is better.
Well, and my daughter, she's on a Medicaid waiver, so which helps us, one of the things that helps is for us to be able to keep her at home. Like she lives with her mom.
Uh-huh.
And her mom, we get paid parent, which has been in the news recently too, but if you look at the budget for what they give you in that situation versus if you put her like in a group home, like if she was in a group home, the budget would be much higher. So I mean, it costs more money to have people in group homes.
Yeah.
But then if like, we take care of her, they don't pay us as much. It's just interesting how it's like it costs more, so they get paid more. Insurance will pay more because they have to. So it's just those things like that where it's like maybe make it a little more equitable so like people can
Yeah.
afford to like take care of their loved one at home if they want to, and at least have the opportunity instead of maybe having to work another job to make more money to be able to keep them
Right.
home, so and then balance it all. So it's just interesting how our society has certain priorities and things.
Yeah, and I also think, I mean, this is a rabbit hole that maybe both of us do not want to go down, but it's like very systemic of like a person feels more comfortable being taken care of at home than being in a place of strangers. Even if they were to develop relationships with the staff and other people who are there, it doesn't take over the comfort and love that when you are around family or even friends, who will take care of you during this time, during whatever time you need. So it's just like, yeah, that is a whole rabbit hole that we could go for I could go for a long time.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
What is one tip you can share to help the listeners be more inclusive today? So just something anybody can start doing today to be more inclusive.
Is if you tap into your playfulness, you can really become more inclusive in your community because that means you're inviting people to play together. And especially as adults, like you're including a lot of adults who are like afraid to be playful, who don't even know how to play either, is when you yeah, it's like that. I have met people who doesn't know how to play because, like I said, I grew up being told to stop playing, and I had to discover how playful I am as a person. And from my own experience, everyone around me just felt more joyful and happy, and and I want that to spread, and that meant that spread will include more people in.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about as you were talking, like if we're out listening to like live music or something, and I mean, yeah, if somebody's out there like dancing, I mean, it kind of does just bring like a smile to my face. Or you like if somebody's out
Yeah.
there playing or dancing and enjoying themselves, like even just me watching them, get a smile on my face. I'll feel better. So it is important. It's just I have a hard time being like, if nobody's out there, like I'm probably not the one that was going to go out there and start doing it. So I maybe need somebody to get me going. But yeah, it's even if like my daughter, she loves music and she'll sing and loves to sing and dance and stuff. So it's just, yeah, it's just somebody starts doing it. It does definitely change the tone around everybody else
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I think it's just like as humans, we're supposed to move. Like it doesn't have to be dancing. We just move. Move however we want to do and allow ourselves to feel our body, and I think that's like the biggest thing with being an adult is like watching not even being already as kids, we're supposed to stay still. Like and it's like, but why? Like why? It's and I also believe that, a lot of people say, I don't like to dance. Like that's valid. But you're meant to move, though. You're supposed to move however body you need. Like, I think even listening to music and moving your body, it doesn't have to be considered dancing. You're just moving your body. And so, yeah. I think,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
like
sure.
you said, music, right? Like music just allowing to feel your body in the long time.
Sure. If there's one thing you hope listeners take away from your story, what would it be?
Mm, that we're all, as human beings, we're all meant to be playful until the day we die. Meaning, when we are adults, we're not supposed to stop playing. We're continuing that. We're not supposed to start playing after we retire. We're supposed to be continue playing all throughout our working days, from our when we are 20 to 65. We're still supposed to be playing during that time. So continue that from my story. Like, yeah.
That's great. I love it. Where's the best place for everybody to connect with you?
You can find me on Instagram at playfully unrestricted. So playfully dot unrestricted. You can find me on Instagram, or you can just also reach out to me on my email, which is Tina Hoang at gmail.com.
Thank you so much. Ready for the last question?
Yes.
You like spam lunch meat? Yes or no?
Yes. I just had some today.
You just had some today?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? That's funny. I don't know
Yeah.
if I ever had anybody answer that they like it and they just had it.
Yeah. I literally, it was for breakfast.
I think it's
So,
spam. Did you
yeah.
fry it up or how'd you eat it?
I ate it with fried with rice and eggs. And so it was good. And I put some
Yeah,
salt on it too.
I've never had anybody say they just had it for the meal right before them. That's fine.
Yeah, I just had it. So it was good. Actually, I saw in your background. I was like, oh, spam. I like spam.
That's spam Yahtzee. Let me see if I can grab it without.
But yeah, I didn't even realize that. I was
It's like
like, a
the can
game.
is where you put the stuff in, and then it has like the little dice with different like spam things on it.
Oh, I didn't know it was the game. I thought it was an actual spam food. So I was like, that looks good.
So yeah, the reason I asked that question is I live near Austin, Minnesota, where they make spam and where the spam museum's located. So if you ever want to visit the spam museum, you got to come to southern Minnesota.
Sure.
And you can be playful there. You can like dance in front of in the spam museum.
Yeah, I'd be like, dun, 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 dun. So like,
That's funny.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Aaron. Really appreciate you having me and, you know, having me on in this conversation.
Yeah, for sure. To those listening, thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. It is truly an honor. Please join the podcast newsletter by clicking on the link in the episode description to keep up with the latest episodes. Together, we can make the world more inclusive. Until next time, stay empowered and be a champion for inclusion.